Hi, my name is Ananya Bro, and I'll be speaking about the female workforce participation rate in India. Swami Vivekanand rightly said there is no chance for the welfare of the world unless the condition of women is improved. It is not possible for a bird to fly on one wing. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar emphasized, I measure the progress of a community by the degree of progress which women have achieved. Mahatma Gandhi believed if you want to know how developed a country is, look at how it treats its women. This, these words reflect an important truth. A nation cannot progress if its women are left behind. Yet, despite India's economic growth that is really rapid, women participation in the workforce remains alarmingly low. The female labor workforce participation rate in India is just 37%, significantly lower than the global average of 50%. What's even more concerning is that nearly 50% of women leave their jobs after maternity due to lack of proper support system. And when it comes to leadership, only 5% of CEOs and 18% of senior management positions in India are held by women. So why is that happening? The reasons are deeply rooted in society, workplace culture, and economic structures. First, social expectation and gender roles continue to act as barriers. Many women, despite being highly educated, are expected to prioritize family responsibilities over their careers. In many households, the idea that a woman's primary role is to take care of home and children still dominates. This is one of the key reasons why so many women drop out of the workforce after marriage or childbirth. Second, childcare support is extremely limited. Affordable daycare centers are scarce and workplace pledges are not always available, making it difficult for mothers to return to work. Safety concerns and lack of mobility restrict many women from pursuing jobs, especially in sectors that require long hours of travel. Women often hesitate to work night shifts or in isolated locations due to safety risk and inadequate public transport. Fourth, even those who do work, the gender pay gap discourages them from staying in the workforce. Studies show that on average, women in India earn 19% less than men for doing the same job. This wage gap makes many women feel undervalued and unmotivated to continue work. Finally, a lack of opportunities in high growth industries is another major issue. While there are increasing number of women in fields like IT and finance, sectors like manufacturing, construction, and technology leadership remain male dominated. The problem has been built over time. In the 1990s, after economic liberalization, many women entered the workforce as new opportunities opened up. However, after 2004, the labor force participation rate started declining as many women moved out of agriculture but were not able to transition into other sectors. The COVID 19 pandemic made things worse, with over 23% of working women losing their jobs compared to just 7% of men. Many of these have not been able to return to work due to caregiving responsibilities and job scarcity. Solving this issue requires strong and sustainable measures. Here's how we can address it. Encouraging women education and skill development, which is a short term initiative about 1 to 3 years. Programs like Skill India must focus on training women in high demand sectors such as digital marketing, data analytics, and healthcare. More scholarships should be provided for women in STEM fields to increase their presence in high paying industries. Workforce re- Workplace and workforce reforms are also required over the next 3 to 5 years. Companies should introduce flexible work policies, remote work options, and better maternity benefits to help women balance work and family. The government should enforce the requirement of crèche fertilities in offices with more than 100 employees. Workplace safety laws and gender sensitization programs should be strengthened to create a more inclusive environment. Boosting entrepreneurship and leadership opportunities. Women led startups should receive financial incentives, easier access to business loans, and mentorship programs. Government policies should focus on empowering rural women through microfinance and training. Corporations should actively work towards increasing the number of women in senior leadership. The barriers to implementation of these solutions, as these solutions do come with challenges, are deep rooted societal biases, lack of enforcement of labor laws, and financial constraints. Finally, a nation's economic growth is directly linked to how well it utilizes its human resources. India aims to become a $5 trillion economy, but the goal will remain out of reach if we continue to exclude women from the workforce. We need policy reforms, corporate accountability, and most importantly, a shift in societal mindset. The change will not happen overnight, but if we take the right steps now, we can ensure that India's daughters are not just educated but economically empowered. Because when women work, economies grow, families prosper, and societies become stronger. The future of India cannot and must not be built on just one wing. It's time for both wings to serve. Thank you.